All right, had to shut my dog up. Moving on. So, we have locked in our four for the merge. Myself, Matt, Bryce, and Kyler. So we've got the faction plus Kyler, and Kyler doesn't have anywhere to go. He does not have the social skills or the social capital in this game right now to move forward with the social team. And with this four locked in, our next concern becomes who is going to be the four locked in for merge from the social team. We have Kevin, Mac, Alex, Isaiah, and Dawn. I wanted Mac to make merge. I really did. Everybody on the strategic team wanted Mac to make merge because if he had made merge, we would have been set. We would have had a 5-3. Mac would have gone with us, and in all likelihood, Mac is sitting in the final three because we're going to need him to flip on our own side when the numbers get down to it. I didn't even consider that. We really needed to be trying to sell to whoever we try to flip from the social team for the merge vote that they will be final three, no matter what, because they most likely will be. And if we can get one of them locked in, that means two of the strategic people are going to be sitting at the end, and it's going to be glorious. But, so we get to the social team cycle, and the social team has Mac and Kevin competing for safety, which makes perfect sense. Kevin is a comp beast, and we had been telling Mac before the cycle, number one, that he needed to be competing for safety, and number two, that if he won safety, he needed to keep it, and he needed to get to merge, because once he got to merge, he was fine. He was safe with us for multiple votes, and he goes for it, and he blows it. He completely blew it. He blew it worse than any competition has been blown this entire game. Like, DJ blew the first safety competition because I was literally trying to throw it to him and he couldn't manage to win it. But Mac blew this one. He got the rolls. This competition, again, comes down to a randomizer, and he got the rolls that he needed in the crucial spots late game to get those last few big point spots, and he didn't do it. And I was literally screaming into my muted microphone it still hurts me. It still hurts me that he had it. And if he had just been smart enough to understand how this game works, then he would be sitting in merge, and he would most likely be sitting in the final three with myself and Kyler. Honestly, I don't want Kyler at the end. Even if I'm going to beat him, I don't want him to be there. I'll take him if I'm going to beat him. I'm not going to beat whoever else is in the final three, but I don't want to sit next to Kyler. I don't want to give him the satisfaction of getting to the end in this game. Call me bitter. I am, especially in games like this. So, Mac doesn't win safety. Kevin wins safety. Kevin keeps safety for the second time in this game. Everybody on the social team, every time they have won safety, they have kept it. Everybody on the strategic team, every time they have won safety, they have destroyed it. That should really tell you something about how the people in this game are playing. So Kevin keeps safety, and Mac is voted out. And we now have a challenge. We now have a game. And it makes things much more exciting. If you knew somebody was going to flip, and it gets boring when you can kind of predict what's going to happen. Mac was always on the outside over there. And the second he was given the opportunity, he was coming to our side no matter what. But he can't. And we can no longer count on that. So we have to start making inroads with this social team. So your merge is 4-4. You got myself, Bryce, Matt, Kyler, Kevin, Isaiah, Dawn, and Alex. 8 people. 4-4. Kevin and Alex supposedly have a feud, but I don't think either one of them is stupid enough to vote against each other for this first merge cycle. Maybe they are, and maybe our job is going to be that much easier, but I sincerely doubt it. And Dawn and Isaiah are both really stable players, I think, which kind of surprises me. I really like Dawn. Dawn has done a really good job fitting in with this younger cast. The fact that he made merge when he was like clearly the oldest person on his team by probably 20 years. The fact that he is here says something about the way he's playing this game, and that makes me want him out. He's got to go final 7, final 6. If he's sitting in any of those last couple cycles, he could easily win his way to the end, and I would look like a complete fool, and I just can't have that. So Isaiah also thinks I am attractive, which I appreciate. Thank you very much. But I don't roll that way, and I don't care about that in this game, because honestly, I will flirt with quite literally anything that has a pulse if it will get me further in this game. I'm willing to do what I have to do to get to the end. I'm willing to lie to who I have to lie to. I'm willing to play who I have to play. And there is, in my mind, no other way to play this game, because if you're not being self-centered, if you're not looking out for number one, then you are not going to finish in that number one spot. And that's all I care about. That's the only reason that I have given up so many hours of my life to talk to this camera, is to win. There's no prize. There's no money. I just want the satisfaction. I want validation that these skills are not only useful, but that they are something that I possess that others don't. And it has to do a lot with my ego. So let's keep feeding that ego. Heading into this merge cycle, you could literally see any number of 5 things happen. You could see a tie, which in my mind is probably the most likely scenario. And if there is a tie, I'm really concerned that they're going to put the votes on Bryce. If they put the votes on Bryce, then I don't think we have this. No offense to Bryce, I don't think he's the strongest comp player on our strategic team. I honestly think myself, Kyler, and Matt all beat him in most of these comps. But if he wins, then it doesn't matter. So, but I would feel much more comfortable with the votes going to either myself, Matt, or Kyler, because I think we stand a better shot. I think we're voting Kevin, which that's stupid, but there's no real way to move the target off of him. We've talked about him being the merge boot since day dot. And if it comes down to Bryce and Kevin in a competition, I feel like Bryce is going home. If it comes down to Matt and Kevin in a competition, I think you have a real good competition. If it comes down to myself or Kevin in a competition, I think you have a real good competition. So you could see a tie, or you could see any one of the 4 social team members flip to the strategic side. Or you could see Kyler flip to the social team. There's a few more options, but they're not likely. They're really unlikely, which is good. That's how I wanted it. I wanted things as locked in as they possibly could be, because if things are not locked in, then you look nervous going into that cycle. And it's so easy for a social team, supposedly social team, to pick up on little social cues like that. If they pick up that one of us is nervous, they're going to vote as a type 4. I kept telling people we needed to sell them that we were not a type 4. If they thought we were a type 4, they were going to stick as a type 4. So we'll see. I've laid the groundwork. Oh, last thing. I don't think there's any chance the votes come to me. I really don't. Like, there is no chance that I get votes tonight in my mind, unless Kyler goes to the 4 social team members and says, I want to vote out Ryan, and that's literally the only way I'm willing to flip with y'all, in which case I will lose my freaking mind. But that's a risk I've taken, so gotta get there.